If you're thinking about moving to Merida, Mexico, or buying property from Cancun down to Tulum, you need to know about these 5 transformative transportation projects in this video. What is good, Mexit planners? Welcome to a special edition of the Yucatan News Weekly Update. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to all of those folks that responded to the poll questions about what content you want to see on this channel. Thank you so much, and look out for a couple more polls as we go along over the next few weeks. Merida is at the tipping point of changing forever. There are 2 federal projects and 3 state and local government projects that will transform real estate values, population size, the local economy, and so much more in Merida. In a recent video, I talked about the 10-point transportation plan that is currently underway to change the way folks move around the city. I will link to that video above and also in the description notes below. Today, I want to focus on the 5 significant transportation projects that will transform Merida and give you all the latest details. Let's get it. Project number 1 is a federal transportation project that will transform commerce and the economy of southern Mexico, and particularly the city of Merida. The project is the deepening of the port of Progreso to allow for larger cargo ships. One key advantage to the state of Yucatan is its geographic closeness to the southeastern United States and access to the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean Sea, as well as the Atlantic Ocean. This transportation project will allow for more nearshoring opportunities for the state of Yucatan by allowing U.S. companies to move logistics centers to the state of Yucatan from faraway places like China and Taiwan. The backup of cargo ships at the ports in the United States during the Big Panini was a great example of how the state of Yucatan could benefit from future shipping opportunities. With the ability to accept more cargo ships, lots of land for distribution centers and warehouses, a skilled labor force, and access to the Gulf of Mexico, the Yucatan could once again become one of the world leaders in the shipping industry. In addition to deepening the port of Progreso, the state is also building a direct connection from the pier in Progreso to the expressway, bypassing the city of Progreso and the need for trucks to go through the town. This direct access to the freeway will make it easier for trucks to move cargo from the ships to those future large distribution centers that will be built all over the state of Yucatan. Project number 2 is a state and local government project that aims to transform how workers move around the city. The Merida Bus Service, which I reported on in previous Yucatan News Weekly updates, added a newer, more modern bus system to the town's perimeter of the city, enabling workers to go from points around the city without having to always go to the center. The system before was more of a hub and spoke design for the old buses. For example, getting from the west side of the city required that you go to the center of the city and then back up to the north part of the city if you want to go from, say, the 9 o'clock position to the 12 o'clock position. Now with the Merida system, you can simply go from the 9 o'clock position around the perimeter to the 12 o'clock position without having to navigate to the center of the city, which is much more efficient. Now the Merida system is in phase 2 and they're adding more buses internal to the perimeter of the city. Now not only can you go around the perimeter of the city, but you can also go from different points on the Merida system internal to the city. Much more efficient. They're adding 36 new routes. 5 new routes will open tomorrow on June 13th, and the system will be free for the next 30 days while they work out the kinks. For those who haven't been to Merida yet, the Merida Bus System is equivalent to like the MARTA system in Atlanta or any large metropolitan city in the States with air conditioning, which is absolutely necessary. I need to believe that some of the older buses when we first got here didn't even have air conditioning. So having a new modernized bus fleet is extremely important, and it's definitely helping people move around the city at a faster pace. It's cutting wait times down from 30 minutes to like 12 minutes. So it's really an improvement, and the Merida Bus System is getting better and better every year. Project number 3 is a city initiative designed to improve the mobility of the residents here in the city. Merida is ranked as the 7th best cycling city in Mexico. And one of the reasons for that is that Merida has a completely flat landscape. There are over 45 miles of bike lanes that were built during the Big Panini. Each Sunday and the first Saturday of each month, the city closes some of the streets for an event called the BC Ruta, which is very nice, where you have families coming out to ride bikes up and down Paseo Montejo and also into the city central. many residents also use bikes as their primary form of transportation. Now the city has rolled out the new NBC bike sharing program, which has many stations in many parts of the city, which will allow anyone with an account to take a bike for a ride and drop it off at another station in the city. I made a short video of my first experience using the NBC bike program. I'll link to it above and also in the description notes below. There are over 300 bikes available for use in the NBC bike program throughout the city in the first deployment of the project, and it's free for the first 3 months. Project number 4 is another exciting state and local government project that will change how people move about the city. The La Tram project is scheduled to be open in December of 2023. We're talking about 6 months from now. This is going to be a complete game changer for the city of Merida. The La Tram project is a fixed electric bus system that's similar to a trolley, and it will run between the cities of Uman, Canacine, and Merida. Inside Merida, the La Tram project will connect the north and the south part of the city. The first routes of the La Tram project to open will be the Taya and the Canacine routes, with the next 3 routes coming online in early 2024. This project will be the first all-electric system in all of Latin America, and the La Tram project will be like the subway system for Merida. Now, it's impossible to build anything underground here in Merida, so the La Tram project is an above ground rail system that's going to completely change how people move throughout the city, which is going to be incredible. Now, the 5th project on this list is a federal government project and is the largest federal government infrastructure project in the history of Mexico. It is full of controversy and has lots of lawsuits, but it is actively being constructed right now, with an original completion date of December of 2023. The Maya project is set to connect 5 states in southern Mexico: Tabasco, Chiapas, Campeche, Yucatan, and Quintana Roo, and will span almost 1,000 miles. The Maya train project will have 42 trains, 20 stations, and 14 stops. At a top speed of about 125 miles per hour, the train is expected to cover the entire route in less than 8 hours. It will connect 46 key Mayan archaeological sites, 6 World Heritage sites, the Cancun Airport, Playa del Carmen, Tulum, and Chetumal. The project is underway right now, and the president of the country, AMLO, has visited Merida every month to check the progress of the project. The Mayan Train project is the signature project of this presidential administration. It is now under the direction of the military. The Mayan Train project will enable millions of visitors to easily travel the 188 miles between Cancun and Merida in less than 2 hours. Typically, that trip takes 4 hours by car, and that's before the Maya Train project started construction. However, now it takes about 5 hours during heavy construction periods because there's single laning traffic all the way down 180 between Merida and Cancun. Imagine tourists from Cancun visiting Chichen Itza in the morning, dining in Merida for dinner, and then returning to their cozy resorts in Cancun at night. Or imagine residents of Merida heading to the Caribbean coast for a long weekend to enjoy the resorts and beautiful sand beaches of the Riviera Maya. This type of transformation will be possible with the Mayan Train in less than an hour and a half. The Maya Train is expected to offer fares for residents, nationals, and tourists at different levels, with the preference given to local inhabitants who could use the train to travel for work. It is expected that the rate schedule will be based on the kilometers traveled. The first trains of the Maya Train system have already arrived and are undergoing testing right now. The Maya Train is expected to be inaugurated in December of 2023. It may not be fully completed by that time, but I suspect the first part of the system will be operational by then. Another really important thing to note about the Maya Train is that it will not enter the city of Merida as it was originally planned. So instead, they're moving the Maya Train station to the Taya location, and it will make stops also in the city of Uman. What is significant about these 2 locations is that the La Tram project will have stops in both Taya and Uman that will transfer folks into Merida City Center to the new Central Park project at the La Plancha site that is currently underway. So as you can see, there is synergy between the 5 transformative projects. Which of these 5 transformative transportation projects do you believe will have the most impact on the city of Merida? And do you think that impact will be good or bad for the city? Please leave me comments below. And for more information on how the city is changing, check out this video over here. Until the next Yucatan Weekly News Update, MexitPlans Monty, Amu!